when I did my Playboy shoot, that was my own bottle blonde.
When I did my Playboy shoot, I feel like I was brunette.
Oh. Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta.
I just can't shake my love for today's guest. It is music icon Debbie Gibson. Hi.
Hi.
I'm being dead honest when I tell you we are a Debbie Gibson household, a fan, a stan, a family. I was raised with Debbie Gibson music. I feel like I was raised with you as you were progressing, not just music, but then theater, but then now an author, now a new book.
I mean, it's so surreal. Just seeing the book on your desk, like, that's amazing. And thank you for that. I mean, it's so surreal to me still that I wrote these songs, either in my little girl bedroom that I shared with my sister Denise or at the piano after school. And that just to hear someone like you say that it was like part of the fabric of your childhood
Absolutely.
is still surreal to me.
Well, I mean, and you hold a distinction as a producer, writer, performer that nobody else does. I mean, literally in the books. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my song Foolish Beat was the first song that I solely produced on my debut album. I'd co-produced others and I wrote everything, but my late great momager Diane, she was one of the OG momagers, and she really was out to fight for my creative vision, and she felt like, who better to speak to her peers than her? Because it was always this thing of like, the masterminding at the record company going on. What producer can we put her? And my mom's like, she knows how she wants her record to sound.
Right.
And that's that. Here's the demo. She wants it to basically sound like a better version of this. And so she fought for that. And then that consequently became my first number one. So my first number one was something that I solely wrote, produced, and performed. And I dethroned one of my idols at the time, George Michael. And I'm still the youngest female to date to hold the record. And the second youngest, because I did it the next year with Lost in Your Eyes.
And those are
crazy.
The hottest songs.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, to this day, I feel like there's something special about pop music in general because the message is usually very, very clear in a song.
1,000%. Yes. And that was something that, cynics like to take pot shots at because it's so simplistic and clear, but it's heartfelt. And for my limited teenage experience, it was truthful. And it was what we all were going through at the time, because I know we're similar in age. I'm a little bit older than you, but we're both ageless.
Yeah, I like that.
We're both eternally electric. I think pop music is supposed to kind of get to the point, that hook, very quickly. And then once you hit the hook, it's like, I always love to create those annoyingly repetitive, hopefully memorable hooks. Again, I mentioned George Michael. Like, I remember hearing Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. Actually, the first time was when I saw it on MTV. And I just remember I could not get that hook out of my head. And I was like, those are the kinds of songs I want to write.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they do. They stay with you. I'm the type of person that if I hear the hook or the chorus or whatever, and there's a word, let's say the word is star or heart or whatever, when I'm in conversation with people, I will just start rattling it. So we were talking about you were using the word dream earlier today. And I just kept saying, dream come true. Like, I would just say it over, and I do it all the time. And so it's interesting because I would never have known that I would eventually become a drag queen, and then I would, do reality or whatever, and then be at the point where somebody that I was raised with musically, and we listened to so much music in our family, but somebody that resonated, I would be able to sit down and say, I rattle that off all the time.
I love that.
It's just, and it's true what you say. that hook sticks with people.
Mm-hmm.
For you, it was Wham. For, other people, it's you. It could be Foolish Beat. It could be Lost
Mm-hmm.
in Your Eyes.
I mean, yeah, I want everyone to be able to sing along.
Yeah.
And it was always so much fun going to countries where people didn't speak English and they knew the hook because it was simple
Mhm.
and it was repetitive. And so many people said, "Oh my God, I learned English from your songs." And
Wow.
I'm like, again, still surreal.
Mhm.
Still surreal.
What becomes a legend most?
We're going legend. So, I have a song called Legendary
Mhm.
out. And to me, being a legend is not only being great at a craft, which, I think like putting in the work on something you love, whatever that is. It could be a craft, it could be being a great parent, whatever it is. Like to me, I have a line in my song, you left it all on the floor. Whatever you're doing, leave it all on the floor,
Right.
you know? Um, and so to me, it's that. To me, it's rooting for others. It's character. It's what makes someone's character. And kindness and generosity and being inclusive to me becomes a legend. I want my idols to have it all.
Right.
I like, I'm going to bring somebody up to me in music who I think is legendary, and that's Gloria Estefan, who
Mhm.
she's my text buddy. And I love that I can say that. And Gloria, if you're watching, like, she'll be like, yep. Because she and I met each other. We've met each other many times, but we met each other like 2 years ago. And I'm that person who, like, I don't care how many records I've sold or how many arenas I've played. I'm a fangirl of so many people.
Sure.
And I'm never going to lose that. Like, I have friends in the business and I'm always I'm like, Donny Osmond's calling me. Like, how did he get my phone number? Oh, right. He's my friend. Right. Like, it's still mind boggling to me. I still
Mhm.
revert back to the little girl watching him on television every Friday
Right.
night. And Gloria, what I love about Gloria is she knows who she is. She knows how great her music is. She can just be full on support for somebody else.
Right.
She can fangirl over me like I fangirl over her. Like we can have that mutual admiration society. But like to me, that's a key component of being a legend. It's like being able to drop your own ego to support other people, to root for other people. To me, that's
Mhm.
legendary.
Well, and Gloria and the Miami Sound Machine was where I first heard of Gloria Estefan,
Mm-hmm.
obviously in the 80s. I feel like there was a time, 80s, 90s, where people were coexisting. So it was like one big plant and all these blossoms were just blossoming. And
Uh-huh.
everyone's music was being celebrated. And if somebody won
Yep.
an award, it was like, wow, great, you won an award. That's great. Next time there'll be another awards show. Next
Mm-hmm.
time we'll do
Mm-hmm.
something else. And there were so many different types of music, types of artists happening on the charts at the same time.
Yep.
And there was something special about that. And I think it does go back to what you were saying or what we were talking about with the message being so simple to other people, but really
Mm-hmm.
not simple, just clear. I think clear is better than simple because that's
Yeah.
what it was.
Totally.
And the music is fun. It's fun to listen to. It doesn't have to be competitive. Other
Right.
people decide what they like. And, of course, as we know, people are going to have their favorites. That's great. Do
Right.
that.
Right.
But it doesn't have to be pegged against one another.
No, of course not. And of course, all the teen magazines loved to do their
Sure.
Tiffany versus Debbie.
Sure.
They loved to do their, there probably was like a Michael J. Fox versus Kirk Cameron at one point or
Uh-huh.
so, right? And I always said the same thing as you did. I was always like, but there's room for all of us.
Yeah.
You can play a million records, and even the charts. It's like there's a top 100. And there's a new number one every week. There's room for everybody,
Mhm.
for sure. But I do love, especially when it's women, celebrating other women like that. And I love Gloria. And she just came to mind just because I'd sent her my legendary video. And she was like, damn, girl. Oh my God. Like, when can I share this with people? I want to celebrate you.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that right there is a legend because she's incredible at what she does. And so incredible, she doesn't have to posture and try to you know what I mean?
Right.
I love that. To me, that's a true legend.
Well, that's why people probably regard you the way that they regard her. You're just never caught up in that weird space of worrying about what everyone else is doing or acknowledging sort of that negativity. That's legendary. And that's probably what brought you
Yes.
to this book. Some of the things that you share
I love
in
that.
this book is that experience, because you sort of it dilutes what you do if you're so worried about all these other things. right?
Totally. And like it's interesting too because in my day-to-day life, I'm very put it this way, I'm my most empowered and most confident on a stage.
Mhm.
That's where I'm like, give me that mic and I kind of get out of my own way, and that's where everything like comes through. But I've learned that like I like the dichotomy of being sometimes a little socially awkward by day and not always having my, like I'm a little rough around the edges by day, is my
Mm.
point. And I've learned that it's fun. It's fun to be able to switch it on, switch it off. I'm always me, but I think, being relatable to your audience too is great. Like my audience, I think, like my diehard Deb heads and Diamond Deb heads, they know. They know like my extensions aren't always imperfect and my right, whatever those things are.
Life is
Like,
happening.
yes, life is happening. And they know when I get on the stage, I'm gonna give them everything. And
Yeah.
that's where to give it, and they know I'm gonna be present. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing too, I think I talk a lot about in the book, is the thing I've learned along the way is to just show up, be present. It's right. It's
Mhm.
not always going to be perfect. I might be having like a little mini panic attack on the inside or it, but just that's okay. It's all okay,
Mhm.
So I kind of love that I never was about that perception and that perfect, like, it must be exhausting to be the divas who are like known for aesthetically looking perfect all the time and kind of like this perfectly poised. I'm like, no, no, I'm a very down home person.
But you are known for your looks. You are known for what. There's one thing that I always notice about a lot of your performances and your videos is platform shoes.
Yeah, I
That's your.
got
Do
them
you
on
love platform
today.
shoes?
I do. I love platforms. I love heels in
Uh
general.
huh.
Platforms are just a little easier, as you know, because you're not so, I do some shtick where I kick my shoes off all the time in
Uh huh.
shows. Because eventually I like to get barefoot and grounded, but you got to make an entrance in your heels or
Yeah,
your
yeah,
platforms. I do love platforms.
yeah. Have you always liked them? Is it something that you went into at a certain point?
Now that you bring it up, I used to borrow my sister Michelle because she was like the little rebel in our family. She had these like, you've literally just unearthed a memory that's not in the book that I haven't thought about since I was 11 or something. But I remember borrowing a pair of like platform clogs of hers.
Okay.
They were kind of like a brown wine color fall kind of thing, and they were cork. And I remember feeling like, oh yeah, these are cool because I always wanted to feel a little funky.
Uh huh.
I always had like Jordache and Gloria Vanderbilts, and they had like, had like a turquoise corduroy. I'm telling you, you're just like taking me back to that. Like I always had a little like bohemian rocker in me.
Hmm.
So I'm going to say, yeah, I think I always have like platforms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were known for setting trend. The denim jacket for sure.
Yep.
I mean, sure, a lot of people wore them, but you did it in a signature way. There would also be the hats
The
that
hat
were
for
not
sure.
positioned here; they were back here.
I walked in wearing one today.
You did.
Yeah, I switched it for the dress, but yeah, I walked in. They framed my face well.
They do.
Yeah, and I used to also always wear Peter Fox granny boots. Some had a
Uh-huh.
little heel, some just had like a wedge, but that too is my way of like I wasn't ready for like actual
Mm-hmm.
heels as a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like co-hosting the American Music Awards in granny boots.
That
Yeah,
was so popular
that
though.
was a thing.
It was a thing for
But
a
I could
while.
dance and
Vests.
vests, yep. I still, I celebrated the 35th anniversary of Electric Youth last
Wow.
year. And I wore some of my original costume pieces and recreated some, but I had like the vest thing going. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's fun.
Did you do a lot of acid wash, or were you not an acid wash person, would you say?
I was more into the ripped, patched. At one point, I had like Disney there was like Mickey Mouse patched, like Disney character
Stop.
patched jeans were a thing. Remember when those were a thing?
I do.
Yep.
I do.
I remember that being like a really trendy, like Melrose.
Mhm.
Like, I don't think I got those in New York. I
Mhm.
think my mom and I, when we came out to LA, that was a very kind of trendy Melrose Avenue thing.
Would you bring it back?
You know, it's funny. I also walked in with patched jeans today. Alice and Olivia has like a patched jean
Uh-huh.
right now that I got. So I do think all those things are back. Even the book cover, if you notice,
Uh-huh.
that homage, the shoulder pads, you know, the
Yeah.
big shoulders. It's like a modern couture version of what was happening in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of wanted to, you know, be nostalgic,
I like
take
it.
you back and bring it forward.
Well, I love it and we love it here. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Let's take a
Thank
break.
you.
We are back with music icon Debbie Gibson and Joey.
Yes.
We were just talking about that. We have not even mentioned the fact
No.
that Joey is here. Tell us about Joey.
But yeah, I've had Joey 8 years, and he came to me at a time when I was really unwell. I was dealing with a lot of health challenges, and he's helped me. I like
Good.
that the emotional support animal thing is so real. Because I always say Joey doesn't care if I hit the high notes well or not.
Mhm.
He does not care how many copies my book sells. He's like,
Right.
"Am I in it? Is my picture? Yes, your picture's in it." But no, it's just so grounding to have my boy with me who
Yeah.
and he's sleeping. He's just sleeping.
I mean, I think we all want to go to sleep. If you really think about it, don't we all?
Oh my goodness.
You know, I keep going back to the 80s because we all know you in different ways. And generationally, people get to know you as you embark on new projects, right? So
Mhm.
they can know you as Debbie Gibson, pop singer. We can know you from Broadway. People know
Mhm.
you from The Masked Singer, Dancing with
Mhm.
the Stars. You even made a little bit of a cameo in, was it Ghostbusters? Is the
Oh yeah, so I was like 12 when I got the call from my agent because I had a kid agent at that time.
Uh-huh.
And I used to do, at the time, we were called extras and now, respectfully, background actors.
Mhm.
And I used to just want to be around showbiz. But yeah, I did a couple of sci-fi movies. So I've gone to like Comic-Con type signing events where people know me from, you know, trying to save the world in a hot strapless dress with Tiffany. But if something like, there was a certain point in my career, and I write about this in the book, where I was like, what am I going to kill the film career that I don't have? Like, let's just have some fun, you
Mhm.
know? So, like, when the
Mhm.
idea of doing Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus was the first one, when that came up, my agent at the time was like, it's going to be a little under the radar sci-fi channel movie. And like, you'll get your, you know, get to kind of feel into your acting chops and see if you love it and see where you're at and da 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 da. And the day the trailer came out, it instantly amassed like 500,000 views because
Wow.
it was so kitschy. You know what I loved about that movie? Nobody, really, truly nobody knew they were making a movie anybody was going to see.
Mhm.
So the acting is weirdly relaxed.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
But yeah, I've done some interesting.
And that's what's great is it opens you up to so many different fan bases
Yeah.
of people who, you know, maybe they weren't around in the 80s. So maybe they don't, or maybe their family only listens to country music or something.
Right.
But they're like, but I loved seeing her in this, or I'm a Broadway fan. I love
Right.
theater and I got to see you in that. What about, I love, and there's a lot of people that watch the show who love fragrance. And my cousin has still has a bottle of Electric Youth, which I think a lot of people that do music come up with fragrance,
Uh-huh.
right? But it's so the same now. I feel like the fragrances that people come up with now all kind of smell the same.
Mhm.
But I think fragrance goes into trend, and right now everybody's is sort of like food, like gourmand in a
Right.
way,
Like I
right?
wear vanilla. Like anything that smells like food, I'm in. Give me
Because it's
tropical food.
comfortable. It
Yeah.
feels good. It smells good.
Yeah.
You want to
Mhm.
be eaten.
Right.
Cheer me up. Give me a kiss, right?
Right.
But what would some other fragrances, other Debbie Gibson fragrances, what would Out of the Blue smell like?
Oh, I mean, the minute you said that, I thought of that kind of seaside,
Same.
right?
That's what I think.
Marine, fresh
Hmm.
ocean.
Don't they always say like
That would be great.
accords of driftwood?
Or blueberry. Right, exactly.
And I'm like, what does driftwood smell like? Barnacles?
Right,
What does
exactly.
that smell like?
It's really funny because when my mom was on the planet, we'd joke about this because my memory of the Electric Youth perfume was like, because they wanted to legitimately channel like who I was as
Mhm.
this teenage girl. And I didn't want it to smell like you're wearing your grandmother's perfume, right? So they did take me into the lab.
Hmm.
And I was able to say, I love this smell and this smell. So, I'm always going to want to combine vanilla and cherry and because it was kind of fruity.
Oh, very.
Yeah. But my mom's like, Deb, you, in your memory, you're like with the beakers and a lab coat, like formulating it yourself. It didn't quite happen that way, but I did have some input.
Mhm.
But the masterminds at Revlon did really make it. And a lot of people have been wanting a reissue of it, which I do too, because it is such a nostalgic time.
Mhm.
And we've done everything short of staging a flash mob in front of the Revlon offices in New York, which I think has to be next
Yeah.
because I feel like, we just celebrated, I feel like for the 40th anniversary, there should be a reissue of Electric Youth.
Right. I remember in the 80s, Avon had a perfume called Rio, and they released with it a cassette tape that had all the popular songs at the time. And they were by the actual artists. I don't know how that
love
was a thing, how
that.
that was even possible. But I remember that. And I remember the fragrance being sort of like raspberry and peachy and fruity. And I
Mhm.
think, again, that speaks to what happens in the trend. In music, the
Right.
Miami Sound Machine, DeBarge. We think of like music that was a party atmosphere. It was light. It
Mhm.
was fun. It felt
Yep.
good. It wasn't like depressing music. Even if there was heartbreak music, there was this like, I remember you fondly.
Yes,
I
and
would,
then there was that riveting sax solo. Like it had an energy to it, you're
right.
saying. It had like an intention and an
Mhm.
energy to it. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like, Electric Youth, Eternally Electric could
Yeah.
be another the Elizabeth Taylor Foundation
Mhm.
releases fragrances all the time. So there was like obviously Passion and White Diamonds, but there's a ton of White Diamonds, most recently White Diamonds Legacy.
Oh, I love
So
that.
they're just variations of, so there could be the next Eternally
Yeah,
Electric.
that's always on our list. So you're
Revlon,
looking at the
where are
team right
you?
here. Like my manager Heather's here, and she and I are a 2-woman show. I mean,
Uh-huh.
we have a team that we've assembled, but essentially our to-do list has to-do lists, and we have that on radar to do. But getting the book out right now is the
Of
biggie.
course.
And we do have that though always kind of in
Well,
play
this is
and
the
how to do
impetus.
it. Yeah.
This is the impetus, I think.
And it can be a chartreuse bottle.
That would be so pretty. And it could still have the fruit accords to it,
Right.
but it could have a base in vanilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it opens
I'm
with the
picturing
party.
like a key lime vanilla.
I don't think anybody's
hybrid
doing that
smell.
either.
Right?
People
I
like
like
gourmand fragrance right now.
Yes.
The green is a pop. I love it.
I love green.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Is that your favorite color, green?
It is. I have this ring. Here, Joey, can I show her my ring? Here we go. Here's my ring.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love this little emerald ring. Okay, sorry to disturb you. And my birthstone is peridot. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm a green girl. Always love green. And the Body Remembers album, the
Mhm.
theme was green, and everyone's always dropping green hearts. And I love green. And your
Aug-
couch.
Green.
Love it.
Had to be.
I love it.
That's August?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What do you
August
do? You do
31st.
that's my mom's birthday.
Really?
Yes.
Aw.
Okay.
I
so
love that.
Virgos.
Virgos.
I always say when I know someone's astrological sign, I always like to say like, oh, Virgo, like I know what that means. I don't know what it means.
Here's the thing. I am very woo-woo in so many ways, but I'm more specifically woo-woo. And I
Okay.
do think that I know a lot of Virgos and we're all very different.
Okay.
And then you get into the rising signs and all the things. And I do know my birthday, there's a book where it says what your birthday means.
Uh-huh.
And by the way, Michael Jackson's birthday is 2 days before mine.
Okay.
And I think Richard Gere's is on or around. But my birthday is the day of the public appearance is what it means to be born on my day.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, they got that. Somebody got that right.
Somebody got it right.
But they always talk about how neat and clean Virgos are. And I am a mad scientist. Now, I'm organized up here, and in my mess, I know where everything is. I'm kind of methodically messy.
Mm-hmm.
See, where was that phrase for the book? This is what I mean. Every single day, I think of something I didn't put, and I'm like, how did I not phrase? I needed another year, and I could have come up with methodically
There's going to be another
messy in the
book.
book. There will be. And
Yeah.
there's this interview, so.
There has to be
I
another
keep
book.
looking on your monitor at my roots and my blonde and how I need a toner just to marry
Do
everything.
you?
I'm just saying. I do. I do. I do. And so if you see me looking over there, I'm like, yeah, it's a little. I asked my colorist for that pop, but now it needs a little finesse. And
Would you ever
we'll get
just
there.
squirt a little sun in your hair and just go out like in the 80s?
Well, listen, I mad scientisted my own color for so long in the past like 5 years, because what happens is I travel so much,
Mm-hmm.
and you're either going to some random person in a random
Sure.
city, you're flying someone in, which you can do that, or although I started to, because I'm like, because people have broken my hair. I mean, there's a whole lot going on right now that I'm just fixated on. It's just not
I
like, look,
think it
it's
looks
broken.
great. I mean,
Okay, thank you. I'll
stop.
stop. And a good halo. A good halo.
Uh-huh.
Good halo that I found at a kiosk in the mall in Vegas
Okay.
recently. And the girl cut it for me right then and there with everyone walking by. And I love it.
And were people recognizing you while this is happening?
No,
Really?
no.
Maybe because
It's
you're low key.
really weird. It's because I'm low key.
Yeah.
If I'm like, I was dolled up doing the Brotherly Love podcast, which is so good, the Lawrence brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a day I was dolled and I had my little entourage with me. And then everyone's recognizing me. But I
Right.
can disappear into a mall
Wow.
with
I
no
like that, though.
makeup, a baseball hat, whatever. And if someone looks really closely and they know me, like they'll know me. Look, I'm just going to keep doing this. We'll fix it on the break.
I actually think it looks really flirty when it like, you know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it just looks like a bang coming out
All
a little
right.
bit. I mean, this is the hair that other people are paying a lot of money to get to. Nobody wants it to be, you know, so exact. It's supposed to look sun-kissed. That's how it looks.
Okay. But I used to do lemon juice in my hair.
Yeah,
sun.
that was the thing.
And even just swimming, like I used to go swimming at the Newbridge pool in Belmore, Long Island. And I'm still a lap swimmer. I find like an aquatic center where they're having like a swim team practice, and I go if I can find one somewhere. And that natural chlorine also, to me, you're supposed to like, I can't find a bathing cap that keeps the water out. I've tried 5 off of Amazon. None of them work. But I've learned, I think it gives it that, you know, angelic, natural, bleachy look.
When was the last time you went swimming in a public pool?
Like 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you eat a bologna sandwich with chips inside of it afterwards?
Well, this was
that's
at a hotel, this one. But the one that I went to on Long Island had the stand, and I always got Cracker Jacks. Always
Cracker
wanted
Jacks
the
are right.
prize. I always hoped there was a tattoo in there.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any tattoos?
I do. I have one. It's here. It's the Beauty and the Beast rose. It's very faded.
Pretty.
It's so faded right now. This might be like part body makeup that didn't come off from yesterday too, because it looks extra faded. But here, see if you could see it.
Yeah.
But it's the Beauty and the Beast rose with the petal falling off.
Pretty.
Really, because when I did Beauty and the Beast in New York, it was 97, 98. And I was always a very ritualistic person, especially with performing. Like I had to do like a certain voice practice at a certain time. And it really wasn't until that show, and I was planted in New York for 9 months doing it, where I discovered a little more freedom in my life. Like, oh, I can have a morning, I can have a day, then I can take my nap and do my yoga and do my voice and whatever. But like, it just was a moment that I loved. I loved that year of my life so much that I wanted to mark it with a tattoo.
And that's what they do. They tell your story, you know? I think
and it's
they
the only
do.
one I ever got, the only one I ever wanted, and I never once regretted it, because so many people will try to talk you out of.
Sure.
Do you have tattoos?
I don't.
Because everybody was like, you're going to regret it. And I've never not once woken up a day and said, oh my God, I shouldn't have gotten this tattoo.
Good. I like
I
that.
love it so
Some people
much.
will get them and then they'll build on them, like add something else to it.
I have a
Yeah.
niece. My niece Diana has, like, she's got sleeves.
My mom has a flower and then she has a bee, 2 bees for her 2 husbands that stung her. Let's take a break.
Oh my God. Yeah, on that note.
Let's take a break. Do you have something on your mind? Perhaps a burning question. Or maybe you just need me to go off about something. Well, now's your chance. Email me at readmedelta@gmail.com and you just might hear your question on an upcoming episode of Very Delta. Don't be shy, baby. Send me an email.
Debbie, what's your favorite song from Beauty and the Beast?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's something sweet and da-da-da. And he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined. But now he's dear and so unsure. I don't know why I didn't see it there before.
Oh,
Why,
so
Joey?
pretty. So pretty.
New and a bit alarming. I really had to work to get my voice to that pristine, legit. Like, I'm always a little husky.
Mm.
And like when I did Cabaret, that was my favorite because you can use all that grit in Sally Bowles.
Yeah.
Because so you hear my talking, like my voice wants to go to the visceral. Yeah, you know them. You know them. I wonder if his vision's getting weird because like he seems to just see his shadow and react.
Well, it could be because I just had cataract surgery and I bark at people too. So
Joey's just going to sit there now for the interview. Look at. Oh, he said no pictures, please.
we are back with the eternally electric Debbie Gibson. Now, this is the part of the show that we call Read Me Delta. People send in letters. They have questions, quandaries. Sometimes they ask for advice.
I can't wait. Joey, we're going to give life advice. Are you ready?
Listen, some of these people ask things and I'm like, you really wrote that down. You really, okay. That makes you feel good.
I can't wait.
Okay, dear Delta and Glamour Puss guest, as a former hairstylist and former brunette, I really wanted to go blonde about a year ago. When it looks good, it looks great, but every once in a while it gets pretty damaged. Should I go back to brown? Maybe this was just a midlife crisis. Should I go auburn? In middle school, I always used Natural Instincts Cinnaberry, and maybe that's worth revisiting. I need advice from an Emmy Award-winning hairstylist and pop icon to help me decide on my next steps. We love both split ends. Very blonde Brian.
Okay,
So,
I'm the perfect person to be
You're the perfect
asking
person
this
because you're
to.
blonde.
So number one, if you're blonde in your soul, you have to be blonde
Mhm.
and figure out a way. So like for me, what I've learned is to make sure whoever's coloring my hair uses a lower lower strength developer
Mhm.
and book more time to do it. And I gotta say, like, I also was good when I was doing it out of the bottle. Like when I did my Playboy shoot, that was my own bottle blonde.
Mhm.
Now, the caveat is if you're really gray, because when you're gray and then this is my whole dilemma. When you're gray and you're doing a root and you're doing the blonde, it's a whole lot of processing and a whole lot of weird
Right.
stuff. But if you're not gray, I say you have to, I know a lot of women are like, oh my God, I've gone all gray because I can't stand the processing. Now I'm in the process of figuring it out with the breakage but I'm always going to need my late mom got to a point too where everyone was encouraging her to just go natural. She was like in an assisted living. And I was like, no, I'm sending an Uber for you so you can go get your auburn because I know it's your vibe. So if
Mhm.
blonde's your vibe, you said Brian?
Brian,
Blonde Brian. Hashtag Blondie Brian. I'd say stick to the blonde lower developer.
Yeah, that's good advice, I think. When I did my Playboy shoot, I feel like I was brunette, and I think I'm a brunette in my heart.
I love
But when I was in beauty school, I did learn from one of my instructors that people would always bring in a picture and they would be like, say, Pamela Anderson, and they would say,
Right.
I want to look like this. And she said, the question that you want to ask of them is, what is it about this picture that you love? Is it the volume? Is it that? Or is
the
it really the
curtain
blonde?
bang? Is it the
'Cause-
color? Is it
yeah.
right?
So maybe we can give you that. So maybe you just want a little bit of highlighter. Maybe you just want like a lighter brown.
Right.
But I love your advice. If you really are blonde in your heart, you know it. You know you are.
I've been brunette and I've been auburn, and I'm just never happier than when I'm a blonde.
Yeah.
So I just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so do you, Brian.
Yeah. You ever wear wigs? You ever had to wear a wig?
I do. And listen, I just said to Sheena, my glam goddess here, that like, I'm like, oh, I need to go to the hair shop again while I'm here. And I have so many wigs, but I'm looking for that one wig I can put on and just like condition, like nurture my hair for even a few months and really feel like me in the wig and not feel wiggy.
Right.
But like when I did they call everything a residency now in Vegas. My mini residency with Joey McIntyre in Vegas, there was a wig that worked for me for stage that was so good. But what happens with me sometimes now is I feel disconnected from, like, in concert, I also like to feel like my most real self. So like for me, if I can't run my hands through it, like when I'm sweaty and I'm on that, 15th song, sometimes it bothers me. So, but I do want to ready to find another good wig.
They're out there.
Do you get yours custom? Do you find them, or do you find them at?
I only wear synthetic wigs.
Okay.
So everything is plastic. Just because it's easier for me if I'm like styling them.
Yep.
Because as you said, the prep for like a human wig or something like that.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's worth the time.
That one looks great.
Yeah, this is like a $40 wig.
It's great. But see, blonde is hard because it can look really fakey when it's blonde.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the lace has developed so much in the past, I would say 10 years.
Yep.
It's really taken off, so you can get.
And I'm spoiled because I had such great wigs in was it Paul Huntley? Was that his name? Like the great wig guy. But I had such great wigs on Broadway where you really, I mean, you really felt like that was your hair. I still have my Sally Bowles wig from Cabaret, and I wore it in my Playboy shoot too. When I saw the Taylor Swift showgirl art, I was like, I wore that wig in my Playboy shoot, like that the brunette bob, which is a fun look.
Yeah.
But it's such a great wig. And the key is there's not a lot of hair.
Right. Because it looks bulky.
Right. It had that kind of just perfect, like thinned out, layered. Yeah.
I mean, that's the trick. Like you said, that's the trick is finding how much the density. The same with makeup. Like, your glam goddess was in here touching you up. It's like you don't particularly want to look like you're wearing a clown's full face of makeup. It's just supposed to accent all of your features.
Right.
Here's one more quick letter. Dear Delta and Debbie, my name is Jareth from Brooklyn, and while Delta is busy frying all the small fish, I'm out swimming and talking to fish in my dreams. My question for you icons is, what is something that has happened only in your dreams that you would totally be okay with happening in real life? For me, sometimes in my dreams, I'm swimming with mermaids under the sea, and it's pure bliss. How about you? Much love, forever yours, Jareth. Something in your dreams.
Oh my God. I feel like I live all my dreams, like no joke.
Is there a place that you dream of going?
Yeah, like Tuscany. Like I just saw on Instagram, I don't know if they're real or not, when you see it's like, you can own this Tuscan castle for, and it's like 175,000 or something. And then I have that but it doesn't have to be a castle. It can be like a rustic farmhouse. I have like the Diane Lane Tuscany movie, fantasy dream. That's a dream.
I follow some of those accounts that are like these Victorian homes or places like that, and they're really inexpensive like that. Like it seems reasonable. Like you could do that, right?
Right.
They're full of black mold. That's why they're full of black mold. You can't live in there. So your beautiful Tuscan villa,
right?
It's only in my nightmares.
It was
only in my nightmares.
Oh my God.
This is so fun. Thank you for being here.
This is so fun. But probably my biggest dream would be that Liberace would return and be at the piano, because I own one of his glass and mirrored pianos. And I just can't believe I never met him.
I know.
So I can visit Liberace in my dreams, put it that way. And I always feel like his energy's around. And the version that's in the video is the me and Lee mix, because I added a whole piano solo. So it's literally just me and Lee, because Liberace fans, his nickname was Lee. So that would be a dream.
That whole beginning. You know, you used a phrase earlier when you said no longer on, or when she was on this planet. And I love that. I've never heard anybody phrase it that way, but now that you say that about his spirit being around, it's like in your dream, the dream probably will come true. You will encounter him again.
Yeah, I feel like I channel him, and my mom's definitely presiding all the time. I mean, selfishly, we'd all love our loved ones to actually be here to give them a hug.
Right.
But I do feel like she is celebrating this moment, and she is so alive, like in this book. And I wouldn't be here if she didn't do what she did on my behalf for my music, for all of our music, because it's our music.
I love that. Thank you for being here.
Thank
you for this. This is so fun.
It was.
So
oh
exciting.
my God, so much fun.
I love it. Today on Very Delta, we learned that sometimes you're an 80s baby and you grow up and you have your own talk show and you meet your icons and your dreams come true. Dream come true. We'll see you next week. And until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Danielle Mitchell. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cole. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. Hey, you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Mom!
Watch Very Delta uncensored, ad-free, and a day early by subscribing to Mom Plus Gold. Sign up today at mompodcast.plus for premium content, including weekly episodes of more Very Delta.